I didn't give him money in a contract, so that was cute.
You're fired.
But I didn't give him money outside in a contract.
You're fired.
What happened? No, we're gonna answer it since you said it.
You're fired.
He worked. He worked more hours than he was paid, and
you're fired.
The county paid him for the work that he did.
Had to be done. Life continues.
So don't be cute with me and then think that you're not going to get an answer.
I find you to be extremely disingenuous, so I won't talk to you.
You've never had a team lose so bad. You're all fired. All four are fired.
It's great. The court just ruled that she is a disaster. She's a disaster with a boyfriend. The boyfriend that she paid $1 million for his expertise, but he never did it before. Now she should be prosecuted. She was what she did to people, forget about me. What Fani Willis did to innocent people, patriots that love our country, what she did to them by indicting them and destroying them, she should be put in jail. She's a criminal. Fani Willis is a criminal.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about Fani Pack Willis, okay, who just faced another humiliating defeat in court as she tries to keep the racketeering and election interference case against President Trump and his political allies alive, right? They're trying to keep this case alive, its own life support, but it seems as if the Georgia Supreme Court has pulled the plug on this case because they declined to hear her appeal of that disqualification in a 4-3 decision, meaning that the Court of Appeals decision stands. Basically, what it means is that Fani Willis is now disqualified, like officially, and a new prosecutor must be appointed by the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia. So the case in and of itself is not dismissed. The proceedings can continue under new prosecutorial leadership, but as long as President Trump is in office, they're not really going to be able to go after him, right? Like, this is not going to ever really lead to anything. Now, when it comes to his political allies, it might be a little bit different. But even then, a new prosecutor could decide to drop the case that, hey, you know, this is not worth pursuing, right? That this is just too much of a clown show in order to continue to pursue. That's likely what's going to happen. But when it comes to Fani Willis, she has been officially disqualified. There's nothing that she can do in order to overturn that or to stay on the case. She's done. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this clip.
We are following some breaking news just coming in this morning. The state Supreme Court has just issued its decision in the 2020 election interference case. They have just ruled that Fani Willis will remain disqualified from prosecuting the case. That disqualification stands. Let's get out to Ariana Manise live at the state Supreme Court this morning. So Ariana, this just coming in. What are we hearing? What are you learning this morning?
Well, yeah, that's right. Within the last 10 minutes, we just learned that the Georgia Court of Appeals has denied that they will hear DA Fani Willis's request to argue that she wants to stay on this case. They are denying that petition, meaning the lower court's ruling, the lower court of appeals ruling to disqualify from this case will remain in place, meaning her office can no longer move forward with prosecuting this case. Now, this all comes from the August 2023 indictment indicting President Trump and 18 other defendants who were accused of attempting to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. Now, DA Fani Willis was first removed from this case in December, and that is after President Trump and other defendants, they wanted her removed from this case after a judge said her romantic relationship with the former special prosecutor Nathan Wade created an appearance of impropriety. Defense attorneys for Trump and other defendants pushed for her removal after that relationship came to light. Now, Willis, she appealed that decision in January. Once again, we just learned the Georgia Court of Appeals denying that petition to hear that appeal. And today's ruling means that her office will no longer move forward with this decision. Now, legal experts have also questioned whether this case will move forward, especially now that President Trump is in office. This case hits another legal roadblock, Jonathan.
All right, our Ariana Manise live there. A lot of information coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically done, right? I mean, at least the case against Trump is done, right? Like, it's done. But what I find to be the most hilarious part about all this is that there's no sympathy for Fani Willis, even from the black liberals, right? People who support Fani Willis, they're disappointed in Fanny Pack, right? They are basically saying, well, this is what you get for keeping your legs open, right? Failing to close your legs, okay? Apparently, the soul poll and some vitamin D was more important to Fani Willis than her career, right? Than, throwing the president in jail, which again, that was her job. That is what the Democrat Party tasked her with doing, and she completely and totally failed. So I want to react to Roland Martin, right? Roland Martin's reacting to this because as you can see, again, clearly they're not happy about what happened to Fani Willis, but they're basically saying it's Fanny's fault, which is 100% true.
Court has declined to hear Fulton County DA Fani Willis' appeal regarding her removal from the state's election interference case against Donald Trump. The Georgia Court of Appeals ruled that Willis and her office must be removed due to her romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, whom she appointed to lead the case. Of course, Trump praised the ruling as a great decision, reiterating that Willis's prosecution of him and others for attempting to overturn Georgia's 2020 election result is a rigged case from the start. Well, not true.
Well, I mean, that is true. It was rigged from the start. But what really blows my mind about Fanny Pack is that while appealing, she was still running around with Nathan Wade, right? There was still videos of her running around with Nathan Wade after she claimed that the relationship had ended, right? I mean, this is what she said in court, right? Under oath that, hey, the relationship didn't start until after they started working on the Trump case. And then she claimed that the relationship was over, but clearly it's not. I mean, this guy showed up with her when her daughter got pulled over, okay? Nathan Wade showed up like a stepdaddy, right? And apparently they've been going on vacations. I mean, he's still been, running around clapping them cheeks. So, it's just fascinating to me because I think what happened was that after Trump won, right, the election, okay, I think she just didn't care at that point. Right? Because at the very least, optically speaking, if you actually cared about the case, then you wouldn't be running around with Nathan Wade. But the fact that she's still running around with him, still getting that fanny packed, right, by Nathan Wade, by Hot Dog Wade, right? It really shows you how much she really didn't care, right? She didn't really care about the case in and of itself. What she cared about is throwing the president in jail, right? And I think that's part of the reason why she decided that the vitamin D was worth more than her career, worth more than the case in and of itself, is because, I don't think that Trump did anything wrong. I think that, again, this was about just throwing him in jail. It was about helping Democrats win, and that was her task. And had she been successful, she would have been a superstar, right? She would have been a superstar within the Democrat Party, right? It would have went along with the whole narrative about, black women got to step up and save the country from the evil white orange man, right? That is what the narrative would have been, right? That black women saved America, right? That's what she was going for. So it's just very, 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 interesting to think about where we're at 2 years ago versus where we're at today. Okay, it really is.
Willis expressed her disagreement with the decision, but stated that she would transfer the case files and evidence to the Prosecuting Attorney's Council of Georgia so that a replacement prosecutor can be appointed. Even if this takes place, it seems unlikely that Trump himself can face prosecution now that he is sitting in the Oval Office. However, 14 other defendants remain charged in the case, including former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. You know what? And I've said from day one, Larry, and I've had people hit me and upset. And I said, I'm sorry. This is Fani Willis screwed this up. Okay.
Yeah,
bottom line
literally, she screwed this up, right? Yeah, I think it's a great way to describe it. She screwed this up big time. Yes, that's a great way to describe it, Roland.
She should have known. Listen, when you have a case like this, everybody is going to be paying attention. All eyes are going to be on it. And you go to your team and you say, hey, if y'all have anything in your closet, any problems, anything, let me know right now so you're not going to be on this case. Well, she sits here and is involved with Nathan Wade. And so she screwed this up. This is on her. And so this is not about, and I heard some people, they've been trying to say, well, you know what? I think you're just being a little too hard. No, you have to know you can't screw up. And this was a major screw up. And as a result of this, it delayed. This case could have been prosecuted before the election Were it not for this screw up.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's using the word screw on purpose, right? I think we all know what he's getting at here. But hey, you know, I it's hard for me to disagree, right? I mean, she screwed us up. I mean, if she had kept her legs closed, like literally, if she had kept her legs closed, they probably would have prosecuted the case before the election. Again, I don't know what the outcome would have been, but had they actually found the president guilty and thrown him in jail, she would have been a hero for the Democrat Party, right? I mean, she would have been in deity level, okay? So, you know, I'm just saying that there are a lot of people that are pissed off by the fact that she failed to deliver the goods, right? They're very upset by this. And you're saying that she's not getting any sympathy, even from these black liberals, these black Democrat Party activists, who typically always get a benefit of the doubt to black people, especially black women. But Fani Willis screwed up so badly that even the Democrat propagandists are like, you know what? She might be a black woman, but she screwed this one up big time, right? Usually, you can't criticize a black woman. In this case, the fact that they're criticizing a Democratic, a liberal black woman, it tells you how bad she messed up.
Yeah, Roland, you hit it right on the nose. You have to cross your T's and dot all your I's when you're getting in bed with vipers. And if you don't, then and you have skeletons in your closet, they will get exposed.
Oh man!
And this is because the problem is the Roland. This hasn't really become about what really is in terms of trying to steal as many votes as possible, overturn the election. This becomes about a relationship. And these conspiracy theories about people trying to bring down the current president, and that, as you highlighted, that's just not the case. And listen, I know, she's an elected official. You have to do better. We've all worked and talked to politicians and understand that once again, if you're black, that if you have anything that you don't want anyone to know about, and you are prosecuting a high profile figure, that information is going to come out. They're going to try.
It ain't got nothing to do with her being black. It has nothing to do with that. She's not receiving more scrutiny because she's black. She's receiving more scrutiny because she was running around getting screwed by the guy that she hired to help go after Trump, right? That's what she received scrutiny for, okay? Her skin color has nothing to do with it, right? To claim that, she's receiving more scrutiny because she's black, you got to make sure that you ain't got no skeletons. Get out of here. Doesn't matter. Black, white, Asian, Chinese, Latino, whatever. Don't matter. She screwed up because of her actions. That's it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Try to smear you because that's how things work. And so this case is DOA, Roland. We'll never hear about this case again. And you're right. If this is done a little differently, this case could have been already, went to trial and had a verdict. But once again, this is another one of the many mistakes historically when we look back that people have made that led to the rise of what we currently see with the current regime.
Mustafa.
I mean, Larry hit it on the head. We often say when you know better, do better. You just got to take the L on this one. You cannot make these types of mistakes. Even if it wasn't a high profile case, you still shouldn't make these types of mistakes. You have a responsibility and a duty to the office that you hold to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So, lesson learned. Larry's right. This, will probably not be brought back up. And you just got to move forward. But I hope that, for young attorneys, folks who are in law school, who, they can review this case, that they'll learn lessons, and hopefully they will make sure that they don't make these same mistakes as they move throughout their career, because you have a responsibility to the people who put you in these offices.
Yeah. If you're a young lawyer, right? Aspiring DA, whatever, right? You probably should be screwing the people that you hired to, prosecute cases with. So, it's just funny to me because I just go back and I think about where we were at 2 to 3 years ago with this case. This was the big one. Her and Jack Smith, right? They didn't really give a damn about Alvin Bragg. Nobody cared about that much, right? What people really cared about was this one, and again, the Jack Smith cases, but really this one, because this was the one that was supposed to be televised, right? It's county, state level stuff, so again, it can be televised. They were throw Trump in Fulton County jail, right? that's what was supposed to happen, okay? And, we got the mugshot out of it, which I believe helped the president win, right? But they didn't actually throw him in jail or convict him of anything, right? And it's just, wow, it's just crazy to think about, right? And where we're at today, Fani Willis being completely thrown off the case. She claimed that she was going to continue to prosecute it, that she was going to wait 4 years. Like, imagine being so desperate. I'm going to wait 4 years, right, until the president's out of office in order to go after him. Turns out she's not going to get the opportunity to do that. So this case is probably dead. It's over for the most part. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.